Welcome to the Social Dialogue Podcast. We're a mother-daughter team, both working in the world of social media management.
Join us as we share our different perspectives on life today, including trends, fashion, friendships, and career, and how social media impacts it all. Together, we bring two perspectives to one conversation.
I'm Shane.
And I'm Jenna.
And we're excited to bring you this new episode of the Social Dialogue Podcast.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Social Dialogue Podcast.
Hi, Nana.
Hi, Mom.
How's your day going?
Well, my first class was canceled, so that's been pretty nice. Got to sleep in.
Why was it canceled?
It was scheduled to be canceled, so that's kind of nice.
Okay.
And so I got to sleep in. I haven't been able to sleep in.
Because when I texted you and told you I was ready to record, you said, I'm still in bed.
Well, you were still on your meeting, so it's fine.
Okay. Well, you know. So today, we are talking about new chapters because I'm in one and you're about to be in one. And we're both kind of like on the precipice or sort of already in it with some changing going on. So do you want to start talking about mine or talking about yours?
Let's talk about you.
All right. So I'm an empty nester, newly an empty nester. Actually, today is 1 month. I'm 1 month in, right?
How you doing?
You know, people ask me how it is, and it's interesting. I think because we sent both of you to summer camp every year, it kind of just feels like you're both at camp, but with your phones. And since you both worked at camp in your final years of camp, I had you with your phones anyway from camp, so it doesn't feel that different. I think the biggest difference for me is the grocery store because, and this didn't change much when you left, but when your brother left, my grocery, I won't say the bill's gotten smaller because groceries are really expensive, but the amount of bags I'm carrying has gotten a lot smaller. I mean, I used to have to stock up on like boxes and boxes of protein bars, chocolate milk, Gatorade, sliced turkey. He had a special bread he likes to eat, and I don't buy any of that. And it's weird, and it's also kind of sad because like I'll be in the protein bar section and I'll see like, oh, a brand new flavor of his favorite protein. I'm like, oh, he's not here to eat that, so I guess I'm not buying it. And so it's just a little bit weird and sad, but I think the anticipation of both of you leaving was far worse than the actual leaving. Like once both of you were settled in and moved in, it's been fine. And I know you don't necessarily believe me, but he has adjusted really well. He actually said to me, this is a quote, he said to me last week, I love it here. I love college. And then he asked me, who do you think is having a more fun year? And I said, freshman to freshman or this year? He said this year. I said it's pretty even. You guys are...
No, I'm having a more fun year. No.
You are both having a very fun year.
No, but I'm having more fun.
I will say, based on the conversation we had in our last episode, his freshman year has been a lot more fun than your freshman year. But you're both having a lot of... Trust me, there's a lot of fun going on with you two right now. So it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch you both come into your own and find the things that you like to do. And, you know, Bloomington for you has been different every year. You've had different experiences that open up to you each year. And so this year has really, it's been amazing to watch you come back into town when you guys were all abroad last spring. And now you're all back together. You're all 21, I think, or most of you.
No, we're all 21 now.
Yeah, so it's really fun to hear that you're out all the time and you're taking advantage of college town life. I will say, as far as being an empty nester, I don't want to cook anything, but I have to because that's how Dad and I stay healthy, but I don't want to. I would happily order takeout every night now, but I know that then I'll be very unhealthy. So there's that. And I don't really feel like I'm an empty nester. I have these two puppies, and one of them is still a baby. So, I mean, you know, I'm dealing with that. And so it's not like we can just at a moment's notice go travel the world because I still have these dogs to deal with. So I don't feel like empty nesting has been all that hard for me. I think leading up to it, I was much more upset about it. And I could feel changes happening. Part of it, and the biggest difference between the two of you is that when you were in high school, your activities didn't involve me. You were very active in your youth group and BBYO, and so I wasn't invited to participate in that because there's no place for parents there. But for him, he had a cross-country meet or a track meet every weekend, and that was my life. We scheduled our lives around his races and college football. So college football is still a factor. But, I'm not going to those races anymore, and I'm not going to be the parent that shows up there without a kid because that's really weird, and people do it, and we're not doing that. But, I was very involved in his life as a spectator, and now I'm not. So for me, that I think has been the hardest adjustment, and it makes me sad. Although I will say the very first weekend of College Game Day this year was Lee Corso's last day, and so I wanted to watch because Ryan grew up watching this man, and so I was totally invested. I sat on the couch and watched all 3 hours of Game Day, which I've never done. So I couldn't have done that if I was at a cross country meet. So it is what it is.
Who do you think you were more sad about leaving the house? Me or my brother? Be honest.
Well, your brother, because of that reason, because I was involved in what he was doing, and it impacted my schedule and my grocery list, and you didn't. And I think there's a difference between the two of you, although he does call way more than I thought he would. I kind of thought we'd go to like every Sunday I might hear from him, but I hear from him a good amount. But I hear from you all the time, so I don't really have time to miss you, and it's just different. It's different, I think, with girls and with boys, and I kind of was expecting to be a little bit more separated from him, but he's calling me, so I don't feel that way. I think he's doing it to take care of me. I really do. I think he calls me because it makes me feel good, but it does make me feel good, and we have some really good conversations, and he's asked for advice, and that's good. That's what I'm here for. There's a shift, and we'll talk about this, but there's a shift for parents as they ship their kids off to school. You're no longer the manager of your child, which, I was very fortunate with both of you being very independent.
Me more than him.
No, both of you. I stopped reading the cross-country coach emails in 7th grade. He managed all of that. But I think that you move from being the manager into being the coach or being the advisor. And I think because of the way we raised you guys to be independent, that has benefited me at this point, because I'm not missing the knowing every little detail about either of your lives, because I really never did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think graduation for my brother was a lot more emotional than it was for me, and I don't understand why, because I'm your firstborn.
Well, I think part of that was both of your perspectives, and we are not getting into this, but on the school, you were very much ready to leave. And although he was ready to leave and ready to move on as well, he does have a close group of guys that he's still in touch with them. So I think, that there was a little bit more emotion. He also, won the big sports award at school. And of all the awards that school gives out, that was the only one that mattered to him. And, that was a big deal. So, and also I gave a combined 27 years of service to that school, and now I don't go there anymore. So, that to me, it was also the end of a chapter. Whereas when you graduated, I had 3 more years to go.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
So you are also about to be in a new chapter, right? You are senior. You've lived in Los Angeles, you've lived in London, and traveled. How many cities did you visit when you were abroad?
Probably 10 to 12. Can't remember off the top of my head.
A lot.
It was, maybe like closer to 15, because we ended up doing some after abroad.
Right. Not to mention, we had a trip before that was international.
Yeah.
So you've been everywhere. And you are well traveled. And then you managed and navigated New York City, and now you're back in your college town. But graduation is looming, my friend.
Oh, I've already applied.
You're already
in
in
the books.
You're already in it. So tell us a little bit about, well, first of all, emotionally, how do you feel about the fact that college is coming to the close?
It's weird because, in New York, the summer I was like, oh, I'm done. why does it matter? Like, I have this incredible internship. Like, life is going to be about my job for the next, I don't know, 50, 60 so years. Like, going back to school, like, after abroad, it just, like, seems like a joke. But, like, now that I'm here, I'm so thankful that I have this last year. I feel like this has been my favorite year, and it's only September. I've been having the best time ever with my best friends, and school still sucks. Like, there's no denying that.
I mean, like, the activity of actually taking classes and stuff.
Yeah. Like, the activity of, like, going to classes and doing homework and getting grades. Like, that's just, like, I'm so done with that part, but it's so nice just to have one more year to just, like, be a kid. And while I am, like, independent and I live in my own apartment and I cook my own food and pay my bills and go grocery shopping and things like that, I also, like, just, there's, like, very little responsibilities in comparison to having a job. So it's been really nice just to be able to enjoy life and be with my best friends for one more year before the real world kicks in.
Yeah. So in the career you're looking for, so I know you have some friends who are, like, in the finance world, the accounting world. So some of them, their jobs are set. They got a return offer at the end of their internship, so they're going through the year, they're graduating, and they've got a job. In your field of interest, which is in the social media, advertising, marketing world, it's a little different. Companies don't tend to hire this far out, I would assume.
For the most part, no. That's
right.
It depends. Like, there are career fairs. They do have a few marketing positions, but most of these career fairs that come to my college are hiring for sales or things like that, or finance, or just accounting or things like that, things that are not particularly what I want to spend the rest of my life doing.
Right. So when you are starting this whole career, you have a strategy of what you're doing and how you're doing. So just from, like, a top line, how do you start? Like, for people in your position, and especially, like, if they are a junior in college, you know, they're still a little bit far out from doing this, but it's coming. What are your best recommendations for how to start looking for a job in the city you want to be in?
First of all, networking is everything. Like, yes, you don't want to say, I'm very independent. I like to do things on my own, but, like, my mom is very well connected. She also works in social media, obviously. Like, she literally knows everyone. So, while I don't want to say that, like, my mom got me the interview, my mom's connections have been able to help me get a foot in the door. But it's also just about, once you get your foot in the door, like, you have to close the deal yourself. Your network can only get you so far. So first of all, networking is everything. And while you want to be able to do it on your own, and you will, it's nice to have some help along the way, because there are thousands, potentially tens of thousands of people competing for the same position as you. Just having a little edge is not a bad thing at all. In fact, it's very helpful, because then they actually know about you. They think of you highly, things like that. So networking is everything. I think second is, like, especially in marketing and social media, you got to get experience. Like, some careers, you have to go to grad school. One of my best friends, she just got into a program today. Like, that's so exciting.
Your friend from here?
Yeah. She was, she did Dance Marathon with me. She just got into her first grad program today.
Oh,
so, like,
exciting.
Yeah, that's super exciting, but that's not something I want to do. And so I have to navigate getting internships on my own, getting experience on my own. And experience can be anything. It can just be, like, making a social media flyer for a class. It can be, like, I'm in an advertising portfolio class and I'm making my own portfolio right now. Like, that's experience. Internships are obviously, in my opinion, like, one of the best ways to get experience, but everyone takes a different life path. So I've been doing internships, had 5, which is, like, it's taken a while to get there, and I'm very proud of, like, how far I've come, and I feel like I have learned something in every single step of the way of each internship to help me grow into the career I have. But some I learned what I love, and some I learned what I don't love. And if you don't have those experiences where you learn what you don't love, you're going to go into your first job and not be happy, and that sucks. So I think internships are huge. I think it's about experience, but it's also about testing the waters, seeing what you like and seeing what you don't like. So networking and internships, get experience wherever you can. And yeah, again, I don't have a job, so don't take my word for it yet, but
you will. You don't have a job yet. You have to finish that sentence with yet. But I think you make a good point about networking, because I do hear of, people of your age who don't want to use their parents' network. They just want to get it on their own, and I think they're doing themselves a disservice. On the flip side, the parents need to understand you can't just get your kid a job. Introduce them, network, help them on LinkedIn, connect them with people, and then step out. And I think you'll agree that there's been a lot of people I've introduced you to, and then I say, please cut me out of this conversation, because I don't need to be on the day-to-day, and I don't need to be on the back and forth emails, and I certainly don't need to be on the Zoom call when you meet these people. I love hearing about it afterward of information you want to share, but I don't necessarily pry into it, because I think it's really important that they hear you from the get-go as an independent adult. You know what you're doing, you know what you're looking for, and I know you've got the one contact who he's been a great advisor to you, and I don't credit myself at all with getting you an internship last summer. I credit him. And, it's someone I knew 30 years ago, and I just happened to know from LinkedIn what he does for a living, and reached out and connected you, and that was the extent of how much I helped. But you got that position with your connections through him and on your own. So it's something to be really, really proud of. And so now, and I know you'll do a lot of does anyone know anyone that works at this company? And I'll check LinkedIn to see who do I have. And we've made a couple of connections that way when I'll see someone I know knows that person or knows somebody at the company. So I think that networking, and at my level too, networking is everything. And to poo-poo it or turn it away is really doing yourself a disservice. So I'm glad that you see the value in that. And I think,
and it's not just your mom. Right. Anyone can be a network. Your professor. Your professor will know people. Your friends will know people. It's not while my mom does have connections, she's never been the one to get me the interview. She's always gone through someone else. Absolutely. So, yeah, it's also yes, my mom is well connected, and I'm very thankful for that, but you don't have to go through your parents. And
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that kind of ties back to a parent of a girl that was in Ryan's class, and you actually know the older sister. She posted on Facebook when both girls were gone and said, I don't think of myself as an empty nester. I think of myself as a bird launcher. And I thought, that is such a perfect analogy. And that's what you're saying. You've launched. And, you're still kind of circling the nest because you haven't actually left yet, but you're on your way. And, before you know it, you're going to be having an attorney look at a job offer and help you decide, is this a good fit?
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. And then we're going to be, looking for some real estate in one of these cities. So I imagine that wherever you're living next year will be a great deal smaller than where you're living this year. Yes. Shout out to IU and the apartments that these seniors live in, because my goodness, is it a very nice place. So I think networking has always been important, but I think the biggest difference between searching for a job now versus searching for a job when I was doing it, and I wasn't looking in the advertising marketing world back then. In fact, I didn't really know what I was doing. But so I graduated college in 1995, so 30 years ago.
When the dinosaurs roamed the earth.
But for me, I made a decision on my city first. I decided I'm moving to Chicago. That's where I want to live. I lived on my friend Karen and Amy's couch for a month, found a job. I had a roommate that was moving there in October, so we got an apartment. But I didn't launch with a job. I launched with a couch. And I think it's much different now. I think the job market is different now. I think that there's a lot of competition. And so again, it goes back to networking and who you know to help you get your foot in the door. So,
and if you don't know anyone, that's not a bad thing. It's just, it's somewhere to start. Start making those connections. If you are in an industry and you don't know anyone, go out of your way. Talk to your professor. Talk to a friend. Start somewhere.
Do you use LinkedIn like that as well? Do you go and search on LinkedIn?
Yeah, LinkedIn is everything. I love saying that I have over 500 connections. It's like my biggest flex ever. But yeah, I love going on LinkedIn and just like looking around and seeing who I know. And like, even if you're just connected with your friends could have a mutual with someone. Those second connections are everything. So like, start somewhere. Like, you don't have, like, if your parent or your friends or your aunt or anyone in your family is not in your field and you're the first one to enter it, great. Go be a groundbreaker. Go start yourself. Go start networking.
I love that. Look at you, go be a groundbreaker. I love it. That's awesome. See? Everyone's going to want to hire you. You see. You watch.
I hope. We'll see.
I think you're going to do great, Jenna.
Thanks.
I am positive.
I'm a little nervous.
Don't be nervous. You just have to go for it. You just have to keep moving forward. There's nothing to be nervous about. You are highly qualified. At your age and stage, the amount of experience that you have is going to help win you that position. And if the first position isn't exactly what you want, you know, the days of staying in a job for 20 years are over. So if the first position isn't 100%, well, go with the 90% and let's get you more experience so that you can use that as a stepping stone and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been at this for about 20 minutes. This has been a really good conversation, and I'm actually learning a lot about the process you're going through because, again, I'm pretty hands-off. One of these episodes, we're gonna have to bring Heather on. Heather, you're gonna have to come on and really talk about the process. Heather is with Adulting 101 Masterclass. She's not paying me to say this. She's just amazing. I'm obsessed with her. And Jenna is working with her as a coach to help her get to that next step. So that's coming soon because I'm going to email Heather and ask her to be a guest. And now that I've put it out there, I hope she says yes. Okay, so now we've come to we're going to start this every week on our podcast. So I'm going to start with you. Okay. What is your favorite social media trend that you're seeing right now?
Right now,
it's just like I haven't even seen it since our algorithms are so different.
Yeah, right now it's the Charlie and Lola trend.
It's what?
I think it's Charlie and Lola. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay, so basically, you plug in this formula to chat, and it gives you yourself as a Charlie and Lola character, and then you like post about it on TikTok, and you compare it to like the actual photo that you gave chat to make for you. And it's been really fun. I really like it, and it kind of like reminds me of like those little AI dolls that were like trending a couple months ago. This one's more on TikTok. The AI dolls were more like everywhere. This one has kind of been concentrated more towards TikTok, but it's kind of fading out a little bit. But I really like it. It's just kind of like stuck with me for a few days.
I don't know this one at all, so you'll have to send me one so I can see it. Okay. Because a lot of my algorithm right now is because you sent me the Wicked thing. A lot of Wicked.
Oh, yes. Get ready. We're going to see Wicked Thursday night, the night before it happens.
Probably again on Saturday because your father will be watching Michigan, Ohio State, and we can't be in the house. So
I won't be here. Oh, wait. The third. Oh, yeah, I'll be here.
You'll be here. Yeah, and your brother will be at his football game. So
we're going to go see Wicked again.
We'll go see it again. Yeah. That's the plan. We'll see it twice.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you want to talk about my regular installment?
If you know my mom, and if you don't know my mom, get ready to know my mom. She hates stupid parents on the Facebook group. When I tell you, it is a text every single day to me and my brother, or me, or my father, or someone, or a friend about these parents in the Facebook group who just can't seem to let go. So every episode, my mother is going to share a comment that she sees on the Facebook pages. So Mom, take it away.
Okay, so this was a recent one. I'm never going to tell you which school because I follow 2 universities groups and I have multiple groups within each university. So there's probably like 10 of these things coming at me every day. But these questions, come on. So this person posted, there's 2 posts here. I'll give you 2. One is it possible for parents to pay and eat in the dining halls? Do you live there? This did not come in during move-in weekend. Do you live in this college town and want to eat dining hall food? Of course.
The answer is yes, by the way. There is a way for you.
Of course. You just
there's a way, but like, do parents need to ask parents that, or can they ask their child
Can they just ask their child? Like, Your kid knows if you can just use a credit card in the dining hall. Trust me, your kid knows. The other one, this is just sad. This person posted, must be about a freshman. My daughter just moved to this dorm and is looking for friends. We're from this city. Well, first of all, it was an anonymous post. So your daughter's looking for friends and no one knows who you are. So how is this useful? And how can somebody contact your daughter? And seriously, I know when your kid is sad at college, I know you want to fix it. I know you want to buy a plane ticket and go there and fix it for them. But literally, you can't. You literally cannot do that. So stay out of it. They will find friends. The best you could do is coach them what they can do. Why don't you try this club? Here, I just saw this on Instagram. Why don't you go to the union? There's got to be something you can do. But you as the parent, we're not setting up play dates anymore. So get over it. I have more coming, but we'll save them for the next episode because they're insane and they're crazy.
And I get them every single
These were actually not the craziest ones, but there are some crazy ones out there where parents are trying to micromanage and manage their children. And these are young adults. You raise them. The whole goal was to get them out of the house to college. You did that.
I think when you graduate, when my brother and I graduate, you should stay in the Facebook groups.
Oh, no. I don't think I'm doing that.
Just for the entertainment.
I don't think so. Well, I think this has been a really good talk, and I think people who are starting their job search hopefully will gain some insight from what you had to share, and maybe those who are new empty nesters struggling with their new chapter will gain some insight from what I had to share. But this was a good talk.
Yeah.
I know that you have to go get some work done, and then you have to get to class, and I have an appointment, so I'll see you next time.
Yeah. See you next time.
Love you, baby.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Social Dialogue Podcast. If you liked today's conversation, be sure to follow, rate, and share the podcast and keep the dialogue going with us on social.
Find us at The Social Dialogue on Instagram and Facebook.
I'm Shane.
And I'm Jenna.
Thanks for listening.